6:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Dilini Gunawardena, assisted by Sanjaya, and read by Geethanjali Ramnayaka. The headlines. The Prime Minister says more attention should be paid to safeguarding schools instead of closing schools. The Commissioner General of Examinations rejects allegations that the papers of Grade 5 scholarship exam were released beforehand. Minister of Power and Energy says no discussions were held to reintroduce the fuel pass QR system. The 2023 annual meeting of Asian Women Parliamentarian Caucus was held in Colombo. Navy recovers narcotic substances valued at 94 million rupees in Talimanar. Foreign news, Egypt, the US and Israel agree ceasefire in southern Gaza, opening of Rafah crossing. In sports, Cricket World Cup, Sri Lanka-Australia cricket match is currently underway in India. News in detail. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says that instead of closing schools, education officials should focus deeply on protecting and preserving schools. The Prime Minister expressed these views today at the inauguration of the new Mathika Mata Upahara building at Valavath Vaishaka Vidyalaya affiliated to Lindsay Girls College, Colombo. This Vaishaka College was proposed to close down in year 2016 and it was revived and affiliated with Lindsay Girls College. Speaking on this occasion, the Prime Minister stated that all those officials holding positions in the education sector in Sri Lanka should think deeply about the issue of school closures. It is the schools that our people built with great difficulty that have brought this country to the highest place in the field of education. He further added that under the program to integrate all schools for a national education program, the island has reached the pinnacle in the field of education. Sri Lanka has to move forward in the world by overcoming challenges. The Commissioner General of Examinations, Amit Jayasundara, says that information has been revealed about the incident on the papers of the Grade 5 scholarship examination held yesterday being released to social media. 2 examination centres that are involved in this regard have been identified. They are from Kalutara. Inquiries in this regard are already underway. He further rejected allegations of certain media that the papers of the scholarship exam were released before the exam was held. Minister of Power and Energy Sekara has refuted reports claiming a discussion has been held to reintroduce the National Fuel Pass QR system in Sri Lanka. Taking to X, Minister Vijay Sekara said that the Government Ministry of Power and Energy or the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation, CPC, has not engaged in any discussion to reintroduce the National Fuel Pass QR system or any quota system for fuel. He further said that the Ministry, CPC and the Ceylon Petroleum Storage Terminals Limited, CPSTL, have only held discussions to plan for cargo requirements for the next 12 months. He added that discussions have also been held to increase the existing storage capacities at CPSTL Kolonnawa, the Muthurajawala terminals and regional depots to maintain a larger buffer stock. The minister's comments come in response to reports on some local media channels claiming the reintroduction of National Fuel Pass QR system. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The annual Forum of Asian Women Parliamentarian Caucus was held under the theme Inclusivity and Diversity in Gender Equality in Parliament in Asia in Colombo. Members of Parliament from Thailand, Japan, Vietnam, Taiwan, Nepal, Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, Bhutan, Philippines, Timor-Leste, including Sri Lanka, joined this meeting. According to an invitation made by Dr. Sudarshini Fernandopulle, chairperson of the Women Parliamentarian Caucus of Sri Lanka, at the annual meeting of Asian Women Parliamentarians held in Singapore last year, the annual meeting of Asian Women Parliamentarians in 2023 was held in Sri Lanka this year. The importance of standing up against various types of violence against women, including military situations, as well as the importance of creating gender equality in the world, was discussed in this meeting. The policy decisions taken and the services rendered for the betterment of women in Sri Lanka through the establishing of the Sri Lanka Women Parliamentarian Caucus received special appreciation at this meeting. A special search operation mounted by Sri Lankan Navy in beach area of Urumale, Talemana today led to the recovery of over 4 kilograms of ice, about 1 kilogram of heroin and over 5 kilograms of hashish concealed in a dinghy. To curb unlawful activities such as drug trafficking within Sri Lanka's maritime and coastal zones, the Navy is conducting vigilant and constant operations. In a similar effort, Sri Lankan Navy ship Tamanna and the North Central Naval Command conducted a search operation in the Urumale beach area in the wee hours of today and searched a suspicious dinghy at the beach. The search led to the recovery of 4 packages of ice weighing about 4 kilograms and 194 grams, a parcel of heroin weighing around 1 kilogram and 34 grams, and 5 packages of hashish weighing about 5 kilograms and 254 grams. Thus, the consignment of narcotic substances and the dinghy was taken into the naval custody. Meanwhile, the gross street value of stock of narcotic drugs is believed to be over 94 million rupees. The assortment of drugs and the dinghy held by the Navy in this operation were handed over to the Police Narcotics Bureau, Talemana, for onward legal action. And that ends local news for now.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
Minister of Foreign Affairs of Malaysia undertook an official visit to Sri Lanka recently. During the visit, the Malaysian Foreign Minister held official discussions with his Sri Lankan counterpart, Foreign Minister Ali Sabri, at the Minister of Foreign Affairs on a wide range of matters of mutual interest in the areas of political, trade and investment, defence and tourism to reaffirm the consolidate and enhance the bilateral cooperation between the two countries. During the discussion, a special focus was given on the proposed free trade agreement between the two countries to bolster trade and economic cooperation. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
In Moshlight this evening, the Department of Railways said that train services on the up-country line have been disrupted due to the derailment of a train this afternoon. The derailment has taken place between the Haputale and Diatalava railway stations, according to the department, and that came to you in Moshlight. Moving on to world news in the headlines. Egypt, the US and Israel agree ceasefire in southern Gaza, opening of Rafah crossing. Daniel Noboa elected Ecuador's youngest president. And UN deep in negotiations on aid access humanitarian chief. Egypt, Israel and the US agreed to a ceasefire in southern Gaza beginning at 600 GMT, coinciding with the reopening of the Rafah border crossing, two Egyptian security sources said today. The sources said the ceasefire would last for several hours, but they were not clear on the exact duration. They also said that 3 countries had agreed that Rafah would be open until 1400 GMT today as one day initial reopening. Rafah, which is on the border between Egypt's Sinai Peninsula and Hamas-governed Gaza, is the only crossing into the territory not controlled by Israel. Businessman Daniel Noboa is to become the youngest president in Ecuador's history at 35 years old. Mr. Noboa won Sunday's election with 52.3% of the vote, ahead of Luisa Gonzalez, 47.7%. She conceded defeat and congratulated her rival. The 35-year-old of the National Democratic Action Party is the son of Alvaro Noboa, who ran unsuccessfully for the presidency 5 times. Mr. Noboa will only have 17 months in office due to the fact that the current election was triggered only when President Guillermo Lasso dissolved parliament amid an impeachment trial. One of the most senior United Nations officials says the UN is deep in negotiations to get the first aid into Gaza since Israel launched its bombardment 9 days ago in response to the wave killings of Hamas. Under Secretary General of Humanitarian Affairs Martin Griffiths believes around 1 million people from the north of Gaza have moved south in response to Israel's direct request. He said there had been no movement on the release of hostages and said that their capture was an egregious, illegal, unacceptable, immoral act and they have to be released immediately. Back to the headlines of the world news. Egypt, the US and Israel agree ceasefire in southern Gaza, opening of Rafah crossing. Daniel Noboa elected Ecuador's youngest president. And UN deep in negotiations on aid access, humanitarian chief. And that ends World News.
Development News.
The Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment signed a Memorandum of Understanding with IM Japan Institute of Japan recently to facilitate more special skilled workers from Sri Lanka to Japan. Minister Manusha Nanayakara said that this collaboration opens doors for our skilled youth in caregiving, food processing and agriculture, offering them exciting employment opportunities. Minister Nanayakara urged Sri Lankan youth who have passed their fourth stage of the Japanese language proficiency test and SSW skill test to apply for these jobs. Selected individuals will be given a 5-year work contract. And that was Development News.
Sports News is brought to you by Shakti. Refresh your mind and body. Shakti Energy Drink. 350 rupees only. Available at island-wide leading groceries and supermarkets. Shakti. Taste the power.
And sports news, the clash between Sri Lanka and Australia of the World Cup is currently underway in India. Winning the toss, Sri Lanka chose to bat. At the end of 43.3 overs, Sri Lanka team was all out for 209 runs. Kusal Pereira scored 78, while Pathum Nisanka contributed with 61. And that was sports news.
Shakti. Refresh your mind and body. Shakti Energy Drink. 350 rupees only. Available at island-wide leading groceries and supermarkets. Shakti. Taste the power.
Go ekak tiyana youth ekata life ekේ change ekata niyamata set wenna as wahagena dagapu hina habe karanna youth ekata niyamata set wenna friendship එක menna.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Group Chief Financial Officer of Head of ESG of the Hales Group, Milinda Hewagama, was recently appointed to the board of United Nations Global Compact Network Sri Lanka. A dynamic professional, Hewagama brings over 17 years of diverse experience in financial management, reporting, budgeting and financial planning and analysis. Beginning his career at Hales in 2010, Hewagama rose from executive to group CFO within 13 years. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak tiyana youth ekata life ekේ change ekata niyamata set wenna as wahagena dagapu hina habe karanna youth ekata niyamata set wenna friendship එක menna.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
On to economic news. Minister Mahinda Amariras said that sour banana cultivation project and the TEJZ mango project started in Jaffna under the Agriculture Ministry's Agriculture Sector Innovation Project have become very successful. Sour banana is grown on 200 acres and TEJZ mango is planted on 500 acres in Jaffna at present. Along with the Rajangana sour banana project, about 10,000 kilograms of sour bananas are exported to the Dubai market once a week. And that was economic news.
Weather report.
Thunder showers will occur over most parts of the island after 2 p.m. and fairly heavy showers above 50 millimeters can be expected at some places in the Uva, eastern, northern and north central provinces. A few showers may occur in coastal areas of the western and southern provinces and in the Puttalam district during the morning. And that was the weather report. Prior to concluding this news broadcast, the headlines once again. The Prime Minister says more attention should be paid to safeguarding schools instead of closing schools. The Commissioner General of Examinations rejects allegations that the papers of Grade 5 scholarship exam were released beforehand. Minister of Power and Energy says no discussions were held to reintroduce the fuel pass QR system. The 2023 annual meeting of Asian Women Parliamentarian Caucus is held in Colombo. The Navy recovers narcotic substances valued at 94 million rupees in Talemana. Foreign news, Egypt, the US and Israel agree ceasefire on southern Gaza, opening of Rafah crossing. And sports, it's World Cup cricket. Sri Lanka, Australia cricket match is currently underway in India. Well, with that, we end this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. And it's back to Mariela Vandot on the other side to keep you well entertained this Monday evening. Over to you, Mariela.